All right, welcome to another edition of America's 250th birthday celebration. We're calling it Red, White, and You, America's 250. So what we're doing is we've been taking this time to highlight people and organizations all within the community that are making a difference, doing extraordinary things that you may not even know about. So we're going to keep that conversation going on today. I'm Ruben Diaz, by the way, and I'm joined by the Executive Director of the Memphis Library Foundation, Christine Weinrich. Now, we had to practice saying that, and you had a little trick to teach me how to say it.
I did.
What we drink and what you can be, right?
What I hope we can all be.
One of these days. So when we first sat down, the first thing I said was educate me, because I think a lot of times when we bring in organizations that maybe people aren't 100% familiar with, they don't really know what the organization does or is about. And I said library in this title, so we all instantly think you're in charge of books. But that's not the truth, right? That's not what this really is.
We may help a little with books, but mostly not.
So what is the core of the Library Foundation? Tell me what the core of that is about.
The core of the Library Foundation is really leveraging private dollars to support our public libraries in a way that gives them programs, resources, technology that don't fit in the city's operating budget. The Memphis Public Libraries are a division of city government.
Yes.
So the basic operations are funded by the city operating budget, which is great because the foundation doesn't have enough money to be able to pay all the people and all of that, keep the lights on. But what we do is we step in and make sure that each branch of the 18 locations can really tailor their services and resources to the needs of the customers of that library and the community in that neighborhood, which makes it unique. And we have so many amazing spaces, programs, technology, resources that get brought in through the power of private funding for our public libraries.
So let's talk a little bit about the difference there, because most of us think library, that we think what?
Books.
Building with some books in it,
big buildings with books,
It's a big building with some books.
And I love a big building with books.
But there's so much more than just that these days. And so I think let's differentiate between what the library itself provides and what the Library Foundation helps provide to the customers of the library. So what are some of the programs, what are some of the things that people get from the Library Foundation outside of, cat in a hat?
Sure. So, everyone knows they can go to the library and check out books. Anyone in the service area can get a free library card and participate and check things out. But they can also get e-books, audiobooks, things like that. Those are traditional library services. They are provided by the city's budget and some state funding and federal funding too sometimes. But then what we do is we step in and say, what does this community of Memphis or this community of, Whitehaven or Orange Mound, what do they need to feed their mind, body, and spirit and support them as a community? And I'm not the person who knows that, but I tell you what, library staff in those locations, they know those communities, and they build relationships with customers who say things like, man, I really wish that we had a recording studio here in the Orange Mound Library and somebody to teach us how to use it. And now we are in the process of interviewing for a new innovator in residence in Orange Mound who is in hip hop music production. So there will be public workshops and festivals, things like that, and also private mentorship, one-on-one mentorship with a working hip hop innovator who
could just teach the
in
studio.
residence. Exactly, and operate the studio.
That's really cool. And again, that is all funded by private donations.
It's by a combination of private donations, and also in that case, the Innovator in Residence program actually does have a state grant as well, a workforce development grant, but it is a separate grant. It's not the city. It's not the city's operating budget.
And I think that's an important distinction, because people might think, well, that's the library, it's the city library, they should automatically provide these things. Right? And it's important to differentiate the fact that the city's budget allows for the lights and the staff, right? And
pretty important stuff.
The important stuff.
But
all the extra cool stuff, extra stuff that you might want has to come from donations or grants.
That's right.
And so what are some of the other cool residence programs that you guys are putting in place or that you already have in place? Because the producer, like the music studio and producer, that would be huge here in Memphis, because music is such a big part of what we do.
Right.
But what are some of the other programs that you guys have created?
Yeah, so I'll kind of stay on the Innovator in Residence program as a whole first, because there's so many others. The Innovator in Residence program was launched at Cossett Library when it reopened in 2023, and we had private funding to kind of test drive this concept where we were bringing in an entrepreneur, a creative entrepreneur, to do public programs. They get a stipend, we buy equipment for them, all of that, and then they educate the community not only in that skill set, but also in how to monetize it, how to go into a career in that area. So our first innovator, the one at Cossett, was Ina Esco, who's a podcaster in residence. She's still there. We're in the middle of our 4th year now, which is amazing. Cossett has 4 more innovators in residence now, and have for about a year. We have an innovator in music production, Ty Boyland. We have an innovator in graphic design and animation, Ted Kasprick. We have an innovator in content creation, Tiffany Denham. And we have an innovator in event design and production, Tanya Dyson. And these, these are names that people know. These are names that people are familiar with who are in those in the realms, and they give that one-on-one ability to launch somebody into whatever their dream job is.
You mentioned all of those residents that you just mentioned are all very timely, very pertinent for today's generation, very much something that they can use, that this generation can use right now. You're talking about content creation, music production, all those, graphic design. Those are all things that are very hot jobs at this point in time. So I think that's really cool that you guys are able to kind of stay with the times. You didn't tell me you got a seamstress in there.
No, we do not.
You know how to do it,
we have some textile arts in some places, but but not in the innovators.
But it does give you the ability to draw in and draw more kids and more young adults into the library to say, hey, here's something that you might be interested in as well.
Right. And to give people the opportunity to see a path for themselves. I don't know about you, but when I was, I'm in my mid-50s now. When I was in school, the library was the big building with books, and I had to know somebody who was on the path that I thought I wanted to take in order to envision myself taking it. This gives everybody the ability to walk in the door and say, I want to explore some things. You don't have to know you're even interested. I want to explore some things. 5 innovators at Cossett. You can interact with all of them and test all those things out. If you're like, this is the thing for me. This is the thing for me.
That's how
you can
out.
dive in. You can do the deep dive. They can actually connect you to those career paths. So it's the breadth of being able to try lots of things, and then the depth of being able to go all the way to the point of launching your career, all with resources at the library. That includes the equipment. All of the music production is not a cheap thing to do.
No, it is not.
Podcasting, content creation. We have all of those resources, animation, at Cossett Library. The Raleigh Library has 2 innovators in residence. One is in film and photography. Again, not cheap.
Huge thing,
but also very hot topic. You can go there for those workshops. We also have a chef innovator, a culinary arts innovator, who has helped multiple people at Raleigh in the teaching kitchen there launch catering businesses, learn how to cook for their families. You don't have to be wanting to be entrepreneurial to do these programs, but you can be. And we just yesterday selected a new innovator for the brand new Fraser branch. I don't know if you've been up there, but
I have not been to that one yet.
Beautiful. It's only been open a year. And they are getting a gardening and horticulture innovator to teach folks how to sustainably grow their own food. It's a food desert. And being able to not only sustainably grow your own food, but then monetize that. And that innovator will also be doing programming in other kinds of agricultural endeavors, like landscape companies. Like, there are lots of entrepreneurial things that can be happening in the garden.
Absolutely. So I may need to go see that. I always tell people, what color's my thumb? It's brown. It dang sure
Mine
ain't
too.
green.
Mine too. Mine too.
You don't want to drive by my house because the flowers are not doing okay.
Right.
My wife is always on me. We got to do something about these flowers. I'm the wrong guy. I'm the wrong guy.
We got to find a guy.
But it does sound like no matter where you're at in the city, because these libraries, none of these libraries are so far apart that you can't go. You can't, take a small drive and get to one of the other ones that maybe does have a program that you're really interested in.
That's right. That's right. And we have 18 locations all the way from Cordova, far east to Cossett Library right on the river on Front Street, and then north to south, down to Whitehaven, up to the North Branch and Fraser and Raleigh, and they're all over the city. And the central, we call it the mothership, the Central Library, right on a bus line, right on sandwiched between Poplar and Walnut Grove. Easy to get to, even if you need the public transportation system, and not very much is easy to get to in Memphis.
Absolutely. So how do people find out about these different programs? Like if somebody's watching right now, a mom, a dad, and they say, man, well, my kid's been talking about being interested in music per se. I'd love to get them interested in that. How do they go about getting involved?
Yeah. So the best way to find out what's going on is to go on memphislibrary.org, and that's the library's website. They have an events calendar. You can filter, it'll be completely overwhelming because there's thousands of things going on. Filter by location, age group, and or topic, and then you actually get what you want. So that's a great way to see what's going on across the system. I also just want to make sure, because you mentioned the mom whose kid might be interested in music production. One of the programs and the spaces that really exists because of private donations through the Library Foundation is Cloud 901. Cloud 901 just turned 10 years old. It's the Teen Learning Lab in the Central Library. And it has a full film studio, a recording studio, mentors there who can help you make your short film, help you make your CD, like record your CD. We have a visual arts and digital arts space. We have a high school level robotics team that travels and competes operating out of there. We fund all of that through private donations.
What does that say about the people of Memphis giving, the giving to be able to provide that for all of these people? You're giving for people you don't know.
Right.
You're just giving because it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Are these programs being used to their capacity, or is there space where we need more people in it? Like, we want more kids, we need more parents, we need more bodies taking advantage of this.
I would say there is room.
Okay.
We have plenty of programs that have wait lists.
Yeah, they're maxed out.
That they're maxed out. But when the demand grows, we grow the supply.
There you go.
It's that simple. We actually my team and I were talking about a program that's a dance program. We bring in a dancer, a professional dancer, for this dance program. And last year when we did it, she came in and there was a wait list. We accommodated 40 people, and then there was a wait list. So she did a second, less formal event for the people who are on the wait list.
That's awesome.
So we're going to, the thing I love about supporting libraries is that libraries respond to community needs in a way that is collaborative, it is intentional, and library staff ask their customers, what do you want? What do you need?
You're not just throwing stuff at the wall.
We're not guessing or presuming we know.
That's awesome. That means you let the community tell you what the community needs.
Absolutely.
And then you respond in kind with to fill those needs.
Exactly.
So if somebody wants to donate, say somebody's watching this and they say, man, that sounds like a mission I want to get behind. How do they do that?
They can go to memphislibraryfoundation.org. Memphislibrary.org is where the
programs
events,
live. The money's over here now.
There's a link on the library's website. The Memphis Public Library's website, because they do so much, it's very overwhelming to me. So you can go to that website and still find the Support the Library area. But the easier way is go to memphislibraryfoundation.org. There's a donate button right at the top. There are many ways to donate. You can be a monthly donor at as little as a few bucks a month, or you can just give a one-time gift. You can give a tribute gift in honor of somebody else who loves the library. You can give a gift that's completely unrestricted. We'll do whatever the greatest need is with it. Or you can give to, we've discovered lots of people just love their branch.
Yeah.
Well, you can say, I love Whitehaven and I want my $5 a month to go to Whitehaven, and we can do that too.
Yeah.
So there are lots of different ways we can tailor to make your investment meaningful to you, because we guarantee you it will be meaningful to the library system and to the community.
Awesome. And before we let you out of here, because I'm sure you have a whole lot of things to do besides just talk to me all day, what would you say to anybody who's watching who has never been involved or taken part in any of these programs because they just didn't know they exist?
Right.
What would you say to somebody who's watching right now about getting involved?
Yeah. What I would say is this. Just start social media. Just start looking on social media, because you'll see lots of videos, and it can be our social media. Memphis Library Foundation is on, the usual suspects.
You're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, Instagram, all that stuff. And then Memphis Public Libraries also. And you'll see lots of things that are going on, maybe a little bit more interactively because it's a reel or something like that, if you're just curious. But I would encourage anybody to just figure out what the closest library location is to them and get there, because there is going to be something for everybody. I think that there's a misconception about what a library, who libraries are for.
Yes.
And libraries are genuinely for everybody. There is something there for everyone. And to kind of show the example of that, we did a fundraiser, we've done it for 3 years now, that's a tattoo fundraiser. So people got real tattoos.
Oh, wow.
In the library, in the Central Library, as a fundraiser. And we educated folks about the history and culture around tattooing, because it is a library.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
You would have never, ever told me. You have one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. She got a book on her shoulder. She got a book on her shoulder.
So, yeah.
Did you get it at the event?
So I didn't, because we had to turn people away. I actually went to one of the tattoo artists. My entire team went to one of the tattoo artists who volunteered their time for us, and got it at their studio after the fact.
That's awesome.
Because we didn't want to take up
other
space
space
in the event.
All right.
But this is still part of that selection.
It's all part of that selection. Well,
yes.
I would show you my tattoo, but it does not exist. So. Christine, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to help educate me and everybody who maybe doesn't know about the Library Foundation and what all it provides for the entire community, from north, south, east, and west, and everywhere in between.
Absolutely.
All the people that can benefit. Last thing, you just said the library is for everybody. Are there age restrictions on any of these programs? Outside of the Cloud 901, which is for teens, obviously. Right.
So when you look at the event calendar, if there is an age restriction, it will say so.
Okay, gotcha.
Most things are not age restricted. Some spaces, Cloud 901, literally, I don't get to go in there unless I'm giving a tour, because only 13 to 18-year-olds can be there, which is kind of cool, because that allows them. Exactly. And then there are some programs that are only for kids and things like that, but most of them are open to anybody, and we encourage everybody to participate, and we always also just want suggestions about what else you need, the community needs at the library.
Well, I have a son who's 27 who's not a very good cook, and I'm thinking about taking him to the culinary thing.
And you know what? They do. Jasmine does a $10 dash where they get $10 worth of groceries. Because your 27-year-old probably isn't wealthy. It's just the way 27-year-olds usually are. Maybe he's got more money than me.
He's doing all right. He still can't
well,
cook.
that's good. That's good. But you know, dashing across to the grocery store, getting $10 worth of stuff, and making something delicious out of it is a great skill for anybody.
Absolutely.
And anybody can, because it's simple. You can't get that many ingredients, so you can't make it real complicated, but it's still good.
And you still have to just learn the concepts of what makes something good.
Absolutely.
This has been very educational for me. Hopefully you have enjoyed it as well, as you've been watching and understanding a little bit about what the Library Foundation does and why it is so important. Again, you can go to memphislibraryfoundation.org to donate. you can go to memphislibrary.org to find out more about the programs. Use the filters, or it's going to take you all day.
Yeah.
But again, thank you, Christine, so much for your
you.
time. I
Thank
appreciate you taking the time and sitting here with us. Again, for this America 250 Red, White, and You, what we're doing is we're highlighting people and organizations that are making a major difference here in Memphis and in the Mid-South, giving back, helping others, and just doing something that maybe you didn't even realize was helping your community. That's why we're so excited to be able to do this, and why this organization and foundation is such a big part of making the Mid-South great. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Ruben Diaz, and make sure to join us on your next edition of America's 250 Red, White, and You.